Polk County Utilities provides safe drinking water, wastewater collection, and treatment systems to nearly 65,750 accounts in unincorporated communities throughout the county. Coming up on Polk Place, we will talk with Water Resource Enforcement. Make sure you stick around. Welcome to Polk Place. I'm your host, Tricia Pichette, and with me today is Summer Colazzo. Now, what is water enforcement?
Polk County's Water Resource Enforcement emphasizes education activities as required by regulatory agencies for the protection and conservation of our precious water resources.
So let's see, what kind of methods do they use to enforce rules?
That effort includes patrols in neighborhoods throughout Polk County and identify and alert our customers on some of those wasteful water uses and maybe some ways to adjust their systems to avoid the water use.
So how do you find out which water restrictions we're under at any given time?
We usually have a chart on the Polk County Utilities website, also on watermatters.org, which is the Southwest Water Management District's website. They will always tell us what phase we're in. Currently, we are still in a normal watering schedule.
Okay, so a normal watering schedule, or even if we're under a restriction, what if I have a new house, or I have new plantings, or I've just put in some new sod? Do the same rules apply?
You have to meet, if you're going to water in any new plantings, there is an exemption that they do offer if you meet the requirements. The number one requirement is that specific irrigation zone must contain at least 50% new plant material. Now, if you meet that requirement, there are some additional There's some additional information on the SwiftMud website. We also have new plant information exemption on our website as well. So that can allow you to establish those new plantings with extra water and still be in the requirements of the state.
Now, I'm not a landscaper, and a lot of people aren't. Are there some programs, or is there information out there? Because I'm assuming that what I would plant up in my house in New York is not a good idea to plant in my house in Florida. So are there programs, or is there any information that I can find about what would be a better idea to plant if I wanted to be water conscious?
Well, we always do promote and recommend planting Florida-friendly plants in your yard. And there is even specific zones in Florida where plants would do better in those specific zones. IFAS, the Extension office out of Bartow, they're a very good resource. But we also have some cost sharing programs with the district that help homeowners understand their potential water waste and their high volume use with their irrigation system. And that actually has a licensed local contractor that's an irrigation specialist that comes in and adjusts and examines your system, checks it for leaks, makes sure that the spray heads are spraying just on the grass, just on the plants, and gives you a nice solid evaluation, make sure that your irrigation system is working as efficiently as possible.
And that's someone who would come to my house?
Yes, if you meet the requirements of the program. The initial requirement is that you must meet at least 15 gallons per month, 15,000 gallons, per month over an average of 12 months. If you meet that requirement, then you certainly should fill out a landscape and irrigation evaluation application. Jackie Hollister is our environmental specialist. She's our conservation specialist with utilities, and she's a program leader for the landscape and irrigation program, and she would be able to get you prepared and started with that program.
That's fantastic. I mean, that's actually geared towards me specifically, rather than just getting any old information that might be out there.
Correct, and any adjustment that they can do, any broken spray head that can be repaired, that can avoid any water waste further on. It also gives that educational opportunity for people that might have moved from New York or have never had an in-ground irrigation system, that gives them the opportunity to meet with someone that is in the field, that knows how these systems work, and hopefully it would allow them to still water their plants, to still water their grass, but do it as efficiently as possible.
Now, I'm assuming that in order to qualify for this program, that the system has to work before you get there, right?
Correct. A requirement is having someone there to meet with our licensed professional, and of course that encourages that educational opportunity as well. Sure. It's very nice that we do have that kind of program. An irrigation system uses a large volume of water, so our main goal is to still allow people to use their system, but be as efficient as possible with it. And so we're very fortunate to have programs that allow us to help with that.
Now, really quick, and this isn't a question,
Okay.
It's me because I've been to the utilities office in Winter Haven, and you guys have a garden out there that how many years has it been since anybody has put water on this garden?
Oh my goodness. Since the initial watering in, which we met the requirements to water that in, I believe it was 2004 or 5. I wasn't here at the time, so
Yeah.
I apologize. But I believe it was 2004 or 5. Jackie was actually ahead of that as well. And it was this barren landscape. We have pictures on our sign outside in the garden. It looked barren landscape, and now we have a beautiful lush garden with 0 irrigation. But that's because species right for this area that were Florida friendly were chosen and placed in the right spot. And when you do all that, it's very low maintenance. You're not having to use water. You're not having to turn on your irrigation system. You can really just have something that's a lot easier to maintain.
Yeah. So you guys are walking the walk and talking the talk out there.
That's right. That's right. And we're here to help. Give us a call. Send us an email. We're here to help. We'd rather give you that information, and if you're unsure, if you need to call back and ask again, I'm fine answering the question 3 times. As long as they get that information, that's really what our goal is.
Great. Well, Summer, thank you so much for coming. That was really interesting information.
Thank you, Patricia. I appreciate it.
Polk County Utilities provides proactive education activities for the protection of our water resources. That effort includes patrols in the neighborhoods throughout Polk County, identifying violations such as watering on an incorrect day or time of day, wasteful water use due to a broken or misdirected spray head, and watering during or immediately after a substantial rainfall event. The purpose of all of this is to promote long-term sustainability for the water resources of the district and is intended to reduce wasteful irrigation practices. For more information, you can look them up on the web at www.polk-county.net or give them a call at 863-298-4211.